Hi everyone, this is Rhiannon. This week I'm going to be talking to you about to-do lists. I know, seems like the most basic thing in the world. Yes, everyone has to-do lists, Rhiannon. Everyone does to-do lists. Great. Really glad if you do. But a lot of people don't, and it drives me crazy. The other thing is maybe you don't know exactly how to do a to-do list to maximize your time and to get the most out of your day. So I've taken a couple trainings over the years and I've learned a couple tips. I also, just through trial and error over the years, have figured out what works for me. So I'm going to share that with you, and hopefully this can help you prioritize your day too. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the do's and don'ts. What things to do on your to-do list is prioritize. You definitely have to prioritize your to-do lists, categorize them into different categories, and highlighters. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Some don'ts. People might think I'm crazy, but don't use Post-it notes. I'll tell you why a little bit more. And don't leave off your personal stuff. Don't leave it off. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. First thing I want to talk about is a notebook. Always make sure you're carrying your notebook with you with your to-do list in it. It doesn't matter if you're in a meeting. Oh, I'm just going to go to this meeting real quick. Take it with you, because whenever you're in those meetings and you're kind of focusing on what this person's saying and you think to yourself, oh, I want to look at more of that, or oh, I need to remember to go do that. Having your notebook on you, you write it down in your to-do list. If you're always updating your to-do list and you have it on you at all times, it'll help you stay focused. So the second reason for that, and my big belief about to-do list, is that it really creates space in your brain for all the other things that you need to be focusing on, so that it's on your to-do list and you're not thinking to myself, oh, I need to remember to do this. Oh, I need to remember to do that. It's gonna create too much anxiety in your mind when you're thinking about all the things that you have to remember to do. So write it on the to-do list. There's actually studies and statistics that say your anxiety will be reduced if you write things on your to-do list. For example, there's a big tip about leaving a pen and paper next to your bed at night if you're having trouble falling asleep because you're always thinking of all the things you need to get done the next day. Write it on a pen and paper, write it next to your bed, and go to sleep and realize it's there. You're going to remember it tomorrow because you wrote it down. So going back to to-do lists, when you have them and you're focused on how do I make the most out of my day, the best way to do that is to categorize your to-do list into personal, work. Maybe it's by client, maybe it's by project, and underneath each project you have your list of things that you need to get done. The best way to do it is also to list it by priority. Now sometimes you're in a rush and you just got to get it written down. That's totally fine. Do that all day long. Another tip for then how to prioritize is use a highlighter. I'm a big fan of that. You'll probably see highlighters in my calendars and on my to-do lists. I pick different colors because the reason to use it is that it'll stand out. When you look at your to-do list, you'll go, oh, these are the 5 things I have to get done today because I've highlighted them. I know that's the priority. And so that's another tip, is the do's for your to-do list. One is prioritize your to-do list, categorize them, and use a highlighter if you need to, or maybe you use an asterisk versus a check mark, or a box versus a dollar sign. Make it work for you so that you're, again, making sure that you're prioritizing and you'll get more stuff done that way. The don'ts of to-do lists. So I learned this in a training a long time ago, and I was shocked that Post-it notes will actually distract us. And the reason being is it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about how when you think you have it in your mind, you actually will keep hanging on to it. So let's say you're somebody who has a Post-it note on their computer and they have another Post-it note over here and they have another Post-it note next to their phone. Every time you look at your phone or your computer or you look at that Post-it note, you go, oh, I need to remember to do that. See, that's counterproductive to your day and to prioritizing if you just write it on your to-do list. So get rid of Post-it notes unless you're somehow organizing them in priority order on your to-do list, fine. But if you're having Post-it notes around your house or around your computer, trying to remember to get things done, that's not going to really be the best use of your time, because again, you're taking up space in your brain to remember to do the things instead of writing the things down and doing the things. So don't use Post-it notes and put it on your calendar. The last one I'd like to talk about is don't leave off your personal stuff. How many times do we put work first and we haven't gotten our personal stuff done? So I'm a big proponent of this. Let's say it's don't forget your car registration, or you need to, I don't know, make your dentist appointment. These are things that we have to do for ourselves, and if we're not prioritizing ourselves and our personal to-do list, it's not going to get done. So make sure you put it on your to-do list. Make it an important part of your daily tasks, because you are important and your personal stuff is just as important as your work stuff. So those are my tips, my do's and don'ts for to-do lists. And thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you here next week. Thanks. Bye.